The Coyote Twin, Vermilion's Downtown Theater. Providing entertainment Thursdays through Sundays.
Tonight, two student groups are joining forces to address food insecurity.
We'll have that and more coming up. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
Newly signed legislative bills could affect life on college campuses. Welcome to Coyote News. I'm Jacob Pierce.
And I'm Xander Hull. We'll get to that story in a moment, but first, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says the Federal Emergency Management Agency is being eliminated. During Monday's cabinet meeting, Noem gave a status report on border security and says, "We're going to eliminate FEMA." She did not give any further explanation. Noem's comments correspond with President Donald Trump's plans for the agency. FEMA coordinates disaster response in the immediate aftermath of storms and other disasters. The organization also helps with long-term recovery.
South Dakota Governor Larry Roden signed a bill into law on Monday allowing concealed carry on public college campuses. Senate Bill 100 would allow those with concealed carry permits to carry concealed guns on state university and technical college campuses. Institutions can restrict firearms in select locations. This includes air quality controlled labs, areas requiring security clearance, special events monitored with metal detectors and armed security, and any labs containing hazardous materials like flammable liquids or dangerous chemicals. When not in use, guns and ammunition must be stored in a locked case or safe. Governor Roden signed many other bills into law last week. The bathroom bill was signed on Thursday. House Bill 1259 segregates restrooms in public schools and state-owned facilities by the sex assigned at birth. Also signed is a measure restricting access to obscene materials in public libraries and public schools. The bill was amended to remove the potential for criminal charges to be brought against librarians and allows for an appeal process of books deemed obscene. The bills become law on July 1st.
Research in gender studies was brought to life at USD in a two-day conference. This year's biannual Women, Gender, and Sexuality Studies Conference focused on the theme of power. It featured interdisciplinary lectures, workshops, and performances. The speakers included activists, authors, and people conducting research in gender studies across many fields of study. The purpose was to bring together research and advocacy. The Women, Gender, and Sexuality Studies program can help people with research related to gender studies. Students can also minor in women, gender, and sexuality studies. Confidence in Elections is this year's annual Cheeseman Center for Democracy conference. Tomorrow's event will explore research and public service projects that aim to improve democratic participation and civic education. The keynote address is being delivered by Lisa Bryant. State legislators will also have an interactive discussion and question hour. The event starts tomorrow morning at 9 in the Al Newharth Media Center. It's free to attend, but registration is required.
Last week, two groups on campus met together to tackle an issue affecting many South Dakota residents: food insecurity. In South Dakota, food insecurity affects 1 in 9 people. Alternative Way of Learning and To Feed Just One collaborated to discuss ways to help and be advocates for those struggling. Students who attended the event contributed canned goods and non-perishable foods for the local food bank. In addition, they created kitty carriers for the Yankton Humane Society. AWOL's Director of Recruitment, River Heinen, says that these events build a bridge between groups on campus and produce stronger results. AWOL's next event will be their gala on April 6th. A reminder that the last day to shop at Charlie's Career Closet is tomorrow. The closet is located on the first floor of East Hall, but will soon be relocating to the Burr House. Students can get up to free 10 items per semester with their student ID. The closet will be open tomorrow afternoon from 2 to 5.
Governor Roden is granting administrative leave for both Good Friday and Easter Monday. This means there won't be classes on Monday, April 21st. Good Friday was already a holiday in the academic calendar, making it a 4-day weekend. Coming up, a basketball tournament raises money for diabetes research. You're watching Coyote News.
Everyone is there for the same reason. They're to show off, they're to have fun. The crowd is always cheering. And it's just an expressive type of art, and I'm excited to show my art.
When you walk out there and all these faces are happy to see you and people are just screaming, that's when you found your tribe.
This is Coyote News.
A fraternity's helping cancer research, one chili bowl at a time. Students and community members could purchase a chili dinner with cinnamon buns as dessert to raise funds for the Children's Miracle Network, otherwise known as CMN. The nonprofit supports the fight against children's cancer. Kellen Kuzman, recruitment chair of Sigma Alpha Epsilon, says the fraternity has a long-standing tradition of raising funds for kids.
It's national, so that's why we picked it. It's a renowned fundraiser, and we wanted to help. So,
Says he was very pleased with the turnout at this year's Chili Feed. Sigma Alpha Epsilon's next event will be their Patty's Pageant tomorrow at 5:30 at Trinity Lutheran Church. From the court to the community, Delta Tau Delta is using basketball to give back. The fraternity held their first ever Charity Slam basketball tournament last Friday to raise money for JDRF, a nonprofit organization dedicated to type 1 diabetes research. President Nick Olson says this fundraiser is more than just a game.
It means a lot to us right now because we have a member who suffers from type 1 diabetes, so raising money goes directly towards that foundation that actually helps us. So it's awesome to see the money that we're actually raising actually going someplace. I mean, we had a great turnout. All the fraternities came out here and supported, which really shows how awesome Greek life is and how everybody's willing to come together and for one cause.
The event raised just under $1,500. The fraternity will host their next event, Dunk Adelt, on May 1st.
You can get unlimited pasta right now. Pi Beta Phi's annual Pi Phi Bow Tie fundraiser is taking place tonight at the Eagles Club on Main Street. Participants can learn about the sorority's fundraiser, read, lead, achieve, and other literacy facts while eating an all-you-can-eat pasta bar. Tickets are available at the door, and the event lasts until 7. Another Greek organization is selling food for charity. Pi Kappa Alpha's annual Pikes in the Park fundraiser is next Wednesday at 4. Hex Barbecue will be served for $5 per plate at the North Shelter in Prentice Park. All funds collected from attendees will be allocated to Cure Kids Cancer.
Walk a Mile in Their Shoes is an annual event that supports victims of sexual assault. Coyote News' Kylie Parisian is live in the muck with PAVE's president to learn more. Kylie?
Thanks, Jacob. I'm here with Abby and Tiffany, the president and the community relations chair of PAVE. So this week, Walk a Mile event is happening. What's the purpose of that event and what's the overall goal of it?
So the Walk a Mile in Their Shoes event is a time for us to stand up with sexual assault survivors and walk with them and for them. So it's this Sunday and it's from 1 to 3 p.m. It's our second time doing this event, so we're super excited. And then you can bring your own heels if you'd like, or you can just do tennis shoes or sneakers as well.
Yes, we'll have prizes such as Coyote Cash for the top 2 winners, and we'll have snacks, poppy drinks, waters. The walk will approximately start about 1:20ish, but get there around 1, get settled. We'll have fun music and Greek banners posted, so thank you.
What has your guys' experience been with your roles?
Yeah, as president, we've actually been able to add a few more executive positions this year, which has been really cool. I kind of came into the university as a nervous freshman, just trying to get involved. And then last year I got to serve as PAVE's social media chair, which is super cool. But overall, it's just been really cool to watch the organization grow and watch our outreach, continue partnering with different organizations and communities such as River City Domestic Violence Center in Yankton.
For sure, yeah. As Community Relations Chair, I'm kind of the branch from other organizations and the Title IX Director, and I care as well. So I was able to email and let them know if when we were having certain events and kind of be an outreach to the community as well. But yeah, it's just been a great way to get involved. And speaking of that, our executive applications are also out. They're due April 1st, and they're in our bio of our Instagram. So I would really encourage people to apply. It's been a great way for me to get more involved, and it's just a really cool way to interact with the community as well.
And then what has been your most memorable event?
I would say my most memorable event actually happened this fall. It was in conjunction with CAB, the Campus Activities Board, and basically we had a concert featuring Lila's Rose Band out on the Muck West lawn, which was super fun, a great way to get the community together and kind of just share with students what PAVE is, as well as announce like future events and all that kind of stuff. We also raised money for River City Domestic Violence Center, so yeah, I would say that was mine.
Thank you so much for being here, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Live from the Muck for Coyote News, I'm Kylie Parisian.
Thanks, Kylie. The walk is Sunday afternoon at 1 at the Wellness Center.
A safari in Vermilion may not be possible, but an event held yesterday was the next best thing. CAB hosted their biannual Stuff a Buddy event at the Muck Media Wall. The area was filled with students waiting to pick up from a selection of plush hippos, tigers, giraffes, and more to stuff and bring home. Attendees were also treated to the movie Madagascar displayed on the Muck TVs. In case you missed Stuff a Buddy, CAB's next event is Build Your Own Succulent class on April 15th. The Coyote Twin will premiere a USD alumni's film series. Media and journalism alum Max Hofer produced the series with Warwolf Productions. Last Stop, the series, is a comedy that follows the employees of a secondhand store as they navigate life and love, even occasionally helping the customers. It's based on a real store in Sioux Falls, but is a fictional series based on real-life events and interactions. The series is showing tonight at 6:30 and is free and open to the public.
Need some new art for your apartment? The Student Art Alliance is hosting a student art sale this week. We go back to Coyote News' Kylie Parisian live in the Muck to learn more. Kylie?
Thanks, Jacob. I'm here with Margaret Cottle, the president of SAA. Margaret, there's an event coming up this week with the art sale. What are you most excited for?
I'm really excited that we have a lot of artists that are coming back and selling their art, and I'm hoping we get a lot of foot traffic this time because it's a great way to showcase everything that we've been working on all year. So yeah, it'll be really great.
What kind of art do people expect to see when they come to the sale?
We have a lot of different kinds of art. So prints and paintings that people made, but we also have a lot of crochet, we have jewelry, clay art, screen printings, tons of stuff.
And since you're not an art-focused major, what made you want to be so involved with this club, and how has it impacted and shaped your experience in college?
Yeah, I joined when I was a freshman just because I liked art on the side. It was kind of a hobby for me, but I really loved being involved with Student Art Alliance, and it led me to do the Arts and Health minor. So it kind of tied all back to my psychology degree really well. So I highly encourage anybody, being bad at art is not a thing. So I encourage anybody who thinks they're bad at it to come to any of our events and just pop in to check it out or get a break from studying. So yeah.
And what has been your favorite piece of art that you have made so far?
Ooh, I made a Jake the Dog crochet tapestry, so that's probably my favorite.
Thank you so much for being here. Live from the Muck for Coyote News, I'm Kylie Parisian.
Thanks, Kylie. The art sale will run Friday from 9 to 4. With warmer weather coming this weekend, multiple student organizations are hosting events. Holi is a Hindu festival celebrated as the Festival of Colors. There will be traditional Nepalese snacks, performances, water balloon fights, and powdered color. Dakotathon's hosting their color run, in which participants can either run a 5K or walk 1 mile. The proceeds will support the Sanford Children's Hospital in Sioux Falls. As mentioned earlier, PAVE will be having their annual Walk a Mile on Sunday afternoon. Muslim Students Association is hosting their Eid Carnival, featuring a henna station, games, and food. More information about events this weekend can be found on USD Involved.
Next on Coyote Sports, The softball team plays their first games at home.
And South Dakota hosts Pro Day for 15 Coyotes and other area schools.
Could I get a triple jelly donut extreme?
They have just left the building.
Tune in weekly to Triple Jelly Donut Extreme to hear three friends host civil debates on the biggest video game topics. Listen in on 91.1 KAOR. Triple Jelly Donut Extreme, a show you won't want to miss.
Do you feel tired and anxious at times? Do you feel like you can't focus on your school assignments? Exercising might be your solution. It helps you feel less anxious and gloomy. You can relax better and you suffer less from stress. You will get more energy, sleep better, and find it less difficult to remember all your courses. So move your body and be your own change.
This is Coyote News.
Men's golf competes in their first ever Pay It Forward Collegiate. This is Coyote Sports. I'm Maggie Bishop.
And I'm Parker Orr. Volleyball starts their spring game slate in Omaha this weekend. South Dakota went 2-1 against North Dakota at Nygaard Field to open conference play. In Game 1, USD won 7-0 as Ella McGee hit an inside the park home run, scoring 3 in the second inning. The Fighting Hawks beat the Coyotes in Game 2, 6-5 in 9 innings. Game 3 was more South Dakota, as they won 10-2 in 5 innings. McGee and McKenna Young swept the Summit League Weekly Awards. USD stays home to play St. Thomas tomorrow and Friday in games that were moved up due to bad weekend weather. After 3 matches in Florida, USD Tennis continued Summit League play against Kansas City. The Coyotes beat the Roos 6-1 as Grace Chaddock earned Peak Performer of the Week as she went 2-0 in conference play. South Dakota plays at home for the first time this season against Oral Roberts in St. Thomas this weekend.
Women's golf competed in the Ozarks National Invitational, finishing second. 4 Coyotes placed in the top 15, led by Katie Nicola in 4th. As a team, South Dakota finished behind in-state rivals SDSU by 7 strokes. The team competes in the Stampede at the Creek before the Summit League Championships. Max Schmidtke led USD as they continued in the spring season with the Bell Bank Pay It Forward Collegiate Meet. Schmidtke finished 17th at -2 as South Dakota placed 7th out of 16 teams. The Coyotes finished 3rd out of 6 Summit League teams competing in the meet.
March Madness losses mean new players are entering the transfer portal every day. Coyote News' Nathan Delaney is live in the muck with men's basketball assistant coach Casey Kasperbauer to discuss how the portal's impacting USD. Nathan?
Thanks, Parker. I'm here with Casey. Casey, what has the portal been like with it opening on Monday?
Yeah, it's kind of been an all-hands-on-deck approach with our staff. Laptops always open. We joke in the office, you can't hit refresh fast enough, so I think on that first day on Monday, there was over 800 names in the transfer portal. So really, you're just trying to find the perfect fit. We obviously have to replace some really talented players on our roster, and you know, you're using your connections, you're using your regions that you're comfortable with, and you're just trying to find players that will fit our system.
What was your conversation like with Chase and Dre when they told you they were entering the portal?
Yeah, you know, when we took Chase and Dre, both of those players at the time, we thought we only had 1 year with those guys. So that was the expectation going in. So when the season ended and we had those conversations, there was really no surprise on our end. We had an open and transparent dialogue with those players, asked them what they're looking for in the next step. You know, they told us how we could help them, and really it was kind of an open and shut conversation. It was, what do you need? How can we help? And those conversations are still ongoing right now.
What has changed in college basketball with you being in Vermillion for the last 11 years?
I feel like everything. Obviously, you just touched on the biggest thing is the transfer portal, and then with that, NIL. That's kind of the biggest thing. When I was a player, and then even the early days as director of operations and assistant coach back in 2018 to maybe 2021, it's just totally different. You know, you had to sit out if you were going to transfer. So not a lot of people did, and those numbers continue to rise. And obviously, you know, it's a totally different landscape from that perspective, and now the name of the game is just adjusting on the fly.
What is next for the team in terms of summer ball?
Yeah, our players will report sometime in June, probably early June. We get 8 weeks of summer access with those guys, and so we just hit the ground running. We'll have new players, of course, new faces, and we teach them the terminology. We kind of break everything down with our system, offensively, defensively, and then we go from the ground up. And then that continues into the fall and then right into our season. So it does feel like a 12-month season at times, for sure.
Thank you very much for being here. Live from the Muck for Coyote News, I'm Nathan Delaney.
Thanks, Nathan. 4 players have entered the portal from South Dakota so far. 15 Coyotes participated in the Pro Day for football in the Dome. South Dakota and other schools participated in multiple tests of their physical skills. Bench press was the opening activity, along with many others, including the 40-yard dash and the 3-cone drill. Players concluded the day with personal workouts of their choice.
2 rematches of last year's state championship games ended with 3 new championships in boys basketball. Class A and AA both finished the season with rematches of last year's title games, with the runner-ups winning this time around. Brandon Valley claimed the AA title and Sioux Falls Christian A title. Class B saw 2 new teams in the championship game, Castlewood defeating Viborg Hurley for their 3rd title. South Dakota Volleyball starts their spring schedule with the TVA Collegiate Challenge. The Coyotes play Summit foe Omaha and their NCAA tournament opponent Creighton, as well as Concordia. Matches tip off at 9:30 on Saturday in Omaha.
South Dakota and the Minnesota Twins are hosting USD Night at Target Field. On August 9th, the Twins play the Kansas City Royals, and Coyote fans have a chance to watch the game and get a co-themed jersey. A portion of ticket sales will go to the USD Alumni Association.
That's it for Coyote Sports.
When we come back, we ask students about a class they'd like to teach. Stay with us.
Everyone is there for the same reason. They're to show off. They're to have fun. The crowd is always cheering. And it's just an expressive type of art, and I'm excited to show my art.
When you walk out there and all these faces are happy to see you and people are just screaming, that's when you found your tribe.
This is Coyote News.
A new thermal vent at Yellowstone is bringing attention to the national park. The vent's located about a mile north of the Norris Geyser Basin and was discovered last summer. Scientists confirmed the vent is new because of a thin coat of gray mud covering it. The vent is gaining attention because of its visibility from the road, which tourists will be able to see when the roads reopen in April. Spring brings unpredictable weather for those in the Midwest, with some weeks having both snowy and sunny days.
We asked our Instagram followers if they prefer warmer or cooler weather.
I definitely prefer the warmer weather. I'm glad that it's starting to warm up. What about you?
I prefer the cooler weather. I love snow. I love winter time. I don't know. It's gonna be close here.
Well, let's see who wins. It is I who wins. Warmer weather wins again.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Follow our Instagram page for more weekly polls.
Everyone has their own talents and skills to share.
We asked students if they had to teach a class, what subject would it be and what would it be called?
Here's what they had to say.
If I had to teach a class, I think I would teach a band class and it'd just be called Band 1. Taylor Swift appreciation, I just don't think she's recognized as much as she should be.
It would be a cheer class and it would be called Cheer 101.
I teach Taylor Swift appreciation with Clark because of what he said.
I'll teach Canadian history, teach to all the Americans out there. So
How to get a tattoo 101.
Golf carts, driver's ed.
I would teach a class about, I guess, hair dye and dyeing your hair, and I'd call it Hair Dye 101.
I would teach a nail class on how to do your nails and it'd be called With These Nails 101.
Something about gambling, like Gambling 101. I'm pretty good at that.
I would teach the Bible history and specifically how it relates to the time period and then how just the overall congruence of scripture. And then I'd probably call it like, I don't know, Bible 203 or something like that.
Common sense, and it'd be Common Sense 101 and there'd be like 201, 301, everything like that.
Parker, what are you going to be teaching?
I would teach desserts in the desert, and we would talk about sweet treats in sandy places.
That's pretty good. I think I'd have a class where everyone just shows up, talks to each other for an hour, and then goes home. And I'd call it How to Hold a Conversation. Xander?
I think I'd teach a class called Procrastination 492. And if you pass the class, you fail.
I think I would teach a class called Understanding Sarcasm, and we'd just sit there and talk about nonsense and nobody could laugh.
That sounds good. That's all for Coyote News.
Pick up the volant to see who is the newspaper's Athlete of the Week.
Listen to 91.1 for news updates throughout the week and for your coverage of USD sports.
Don't forget to follow our social media pages for daily updates in the weekly poll. Have a great night.